Welcome back to Tiny Classrooms Live.
The doctor here, Don Zalou in Taos, New Mexico.
And Artie Nathan, the HR guy here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And our topic today is how this crisis may change the way we manage forever.
Oh, it's the implications of the whole crisis pandemic is going to be profound across the board for individuals and organizations and probably society at large.
You know, I think one of the things that'll happen is that remote work and remote work for knowledge workers especially will become the norm.
I think you're right. As the pandemic has already done, it's pushed people into their homes to work there. And all of those folks, most of those folks are having to figure out how to work from home. And there's a sort of revelation that for companies that I think is going to happen as well, that cohabitation in a corporate office is very expensive. And if people can work from home, it's going to save the companies a lot of money as well.
Most managers have tried to restrict this from happening. And maybe that's a case of they want to be able to see their employees so they can manage them more directly. But this has broken that habit. And I'm not sure that it's going to go back in the bottle after this.
I think you may very well be right. And it's going to drive toward collaboration and innovation practices, isn't it, Artie?
Yes, and I think those will become more entrepreneurial. We're taking a lot of risks right now in the workplace, and we're encouraging our employees to take greater risks. And as we become comfortable with that, it's going to become the norm, and people aren't going to want to go back to the old way of following the rules. I think risks have to be appropriately researched and chosen, and I think you have to take the ones that make the most sense. But still, people are going to expect to be able to do that after this.
I think you're absolutely right. And of course, then that leads to the movement away from this traditional sort of top-down management practices to a more coaching culture within organizations.
People have often used coaching to correct people when they do things wrong, and we've often asked them to think about doing it when they do things right and catch people doing things right. And I think coaching in learning the new ways and the new habits, coaching people to think more on their own, to be more entrepreneurial, to work from home, to be more accountable on their own. I think all of that has to start now and continue when this is over.
You and I have been preaching coaching for years, and so now maybe we'll get to be right, is that it's a much more productive and positive way to manage particularly knowledge workers and really across the board, workers across the board.
This pandemic is really changing so many things, including the way we work, the way we manage, the way we look at our roles. And we encourage you to think about this when you have this time off, to think how you will adapt when things go back to normal.
It's very important to have a plan, think ahead, understand that the bulk of one's workforce is likely to get more entrepreneurial and more innovative when they're left to themselves to think through a problem and not be so rigidly managed, people looking over their shoulder, as it were.
So they may be less in need of direct supervision. And that's going to take some adapting by many managers. So that's our message for today. If you want to know more about us, you can check at the ARTE of motivation.
And go to LinkedIn and look for Dr. Don Zalou and peruse some of the articles that we've written there on leadership and management.
Before we go, I should state that, today's April Fool's Day. And Don didn't get a chance to do any jokes on me today, and I'm sure most of us are not in a joking mood. So let's make a fool out of the virus when this is all done.
That's an excellent idea.
Thank you.
Thank you.